Former unified champion George Kambosos finally speaks on the whole conversation of Ryan Garcia. Did he quit? Did he not quit? Versus Gervonta Davis. Got a good video for you. That's what we're going to talk about. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Former unified champion George Kambosos did an interview with Fight Hype. He says, quote, "I was watching with a few people, and I said it's just a matter of time before Ryan goes to sleep. The way it happened, the finish, I know a body shot is a body shot, and they hurt. I get it. But he could have gotten up and gone out on his shield. I believe so. Ryan, he got up as soon as the referee said 10. I'm not here disrespecting Ryan. He's a great kid. We've spoken many times. There's respect there. He's got to go through himself now and ask himself questions like, could I have gotten up? I know on my side, if I got hit with a body shot, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get up, and then you can take my head clean off. I just feel that he should have gotten up, could have gotten up, and do whatever. Put your hands up and get knocked out. Go out on your shield. It's a big fight. You might have gotten a little more respect on the side where people have to question this, but who knows? It might have been a devastating body shot, and he was done. The public doesn't demand, obviously, a rematch with that kind of fight. He's going to go to 140. He's a very, very big name. We'll see what happens with him." That was from former unified champion George Kambosos. Now, let's jump right into my thoughts. Funny thing is, I'm always on the front line when it comes to my sport of boxing. I did the Boxingego watch party, meaning we watched the fight with Gervonta Davis and Ryan live, and I called it live on my channel. The video's still up. Most of what I said was identical to how it played out. I picked Tank Davis by stoppage. I told you Ryan was getting too aggressive. Right after I said that, Ryan ends up getting dropped in that same round. I believe that was round 2. And now you have the theory of, or the conversation, did Ryan quit? Did he not quit? Kambosos is weighing in and saying, I think he could have got up. When I did my video, I was, again, on the front lines. And since I'm literally the first person to say it, because I'm a big channel, and I'm saying it in real time, and I said he quit, right? We had a ton of people watching it. The video did over 150,000. So definitely the first person to kind of introduce this subject of him quitting with my size channel, right? Now I see a lot of people speculating and, making videos about did he quit, did he not quit, and weighing in. People were mad at me saying, oh, he didn't quit, it's a body shot, you just don't know, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, George Kambosos trained with Pacquiao. He's a former champion. He's a fighter. So it's not about if you're a pro boxer or not, you don't know what you're talking about, because everybody wants to summarize when they don't agree with your opinion of you just don't know. I understand very well how hard body shots can impact one. The reason why I say, and when I say I don't just throw labels on people, the reason why I say Ryan Garcia quit is because how it played out, right? I never once doubted that Ryan was in pain. I definitely think he was in pain, but I think he could have fought through the pain to try to get up, but he instead stayed kneeled like Colin Kaepernick, like Tim Tebow, because he knew if he got up, he was going to go out on his shield, and the writing was on the wall. That's why I'm saying it's a quit. There's different severities of pain. There's pain. I've seen guys getting hit with body shots where, like even Oscar De La Hoya versus Bernard Hopkins, he's rolling around on the ground. That's a knockout. You can't say he quit. I mean, he literally paralyzed and can't do nothing. Same thing when Ryan Garcia knocked out Luke Campbell, right? Luke Campbell, you could tell he just wasn't getting up. Ryan Garcia, I'm not doubting that he was in pain, and I'm not taking away from the emphatic knockout from Gervonta Davis. Some people don't understand this. With a body shot, it doesn't even take a bunch of pounds per square inch and a bunch of pressure to hurt someone to the body. It doesn't have to be the biggest punch. That's why I didn't understand why a fighter like Julio Cesar Chavez was saying that he didn't get hit with the punch. I mean, to me, that sounds foolish. He definitely got hit with the punch, and for a body shot over a headshot, it really doesn't take that much pressure. Gervonta gets full credit for the knockout. He threaded the needle and he stopped him, period. But I agree with Kambosos. Like I said in real time, just given the fact that Ryan Garcia literally jumps up at 10, at the 10 count, and gets up. So it was almost like, the way it played out is almost like it was a relief that the fight was over, because he knew he was toast if he would have stood up, Tank being one of the best, if not the best finishers in boxing. That's why I labeled it as a quit, and I still see it that way. Different people can say, oh, you just don't know. You don't know where I've been hit. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, oh, you've never taken a body shot. All right, my opinion stands, and there's other fighters like Teofimo Lopez, even though he's not necessarily the most reliable person in terms of he says crazy things, but George Kambosos and others who also believe that Ryan, if he wanted to, could continue. Again, this is not about if he was in pain or if he wasn't in pain. He was in pain. I get that. But so was Keith Thurman. And I think a lot of respect needs to be put on Keith Thurman's name, because we know Keith Thurman's kryptonite seems to be the body. His body is weak, probably gaining weight in his off season and, you know, crashing down and cutting weight to be in these big fights. Luis Collazo had Keith Thurman scrambling and running around, and he was in severe pain. Manny Pacquiao also hurt Keith Thurman to the body, and he didn't get knocked out by either person. So there's different levels and different severities of pain threshold. Ryan Garcia has, the reason why it plays out bad for him is because the outward appearance was that he was the pretty boy, and then now he has the label of, did he quit? You know, so it doesn't do justice to the way it played out to Ryan Garcia. People who had called him an Instagram fighter or a pretty boy or soft or whatever people were saying, now it looks like you folded under the bright lights and in the biggest fight because you didn't go out on your shield. On top of that, you swore that you were gonna knock out Tank in 2 rounds and things like this, these big, bold predictions, and you were dropped and hurt in the 2nd round, you know? So no one likes to lose, but definitely you're not gonna wanna lose in this fashion. So again, I do think Ryan Garcia pretty much waved the white flag. He knew the end was near if he stood up, so he was reserved and content to just stay down and get counted out. His eyes weren't gone, like he wasn't rolling around the ground. We've seen guys like Keith Thurman and Gabe Rosado and, you know, these different warriors take bad shots and they're still fighting. Like Gabe Rosado fought a big puncher like David Lemieux, who we know has cracks, and his eye was messed up and he wanted to keep going. UFC, you see guys like Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal and stuff. He wanted to keep going. So I think if Ryan Garcia, it would have been better for him to attempt to get up, and if he was shaky or, you know, he took one more clean punch or the ref still didn't like his body language and it got stopped, then it would just be, there would be no doubt. It would be like, okay, you just got stopped. But the fact that he's looking up at Gervonta Davis, and then Tank Davis said post-fight that he told Ryan to get up, and Ryan Garcia shook his head no, I don't really see how you could disagree with Boxingego and George Kambosos. My thoughts.